Hello, it's that time again. Get up, get off the couch, and tackle your own to-do list. Welcome to another episode of Just Ask Bob Live. I am your host, Bob Assadourian. This home improvement show, unlike others, is interactive. We always have two goals in mind here. Number one, to get you up and off the couch to tackle that endless to-do list around your own home. That's absolutely critical. We're going to offer you top-of-the-line DIY information vocally and through our renovation job sites. And we can take your calls here on the program. Second goal of the program, as always, is to demystify the process of hiring what I like to call the right contractor for you and your own home. So if for whatever reason you can't tackle that DIY project yourself, maybe it's too difficult, maybe not enough time, ladder's not tall enough to reach the height of the roof, that's fine. If you want to hire out, we're going to teach you how to do it smart and do it safe. Most municipalities in Ontario actually have a license. Right now on screen, you should be seeing my license. The license is the foundation of the project. It's absolutely critical. Unlike other reality home shows, today's host is actually licensed. To get into the licensing briefly, the municipality does this to protect the homeowners. It's absolutely critical. There's a database and the contractor's been vetted. Before even being allowed to apply or make the payment to write the exam, the contractor has to prove a valid police clearance, an up-to-date check. Now that should speak volumes. You know, this contractor you hire may potentially be in your home from well before you get up to leave for work, and in some cases, he may still be there after you've come home from work. You have family, you have valuables. The police clearance should be a must. Next, the contractor is going to be writing a 2-hour open book test on the Ontario Building Code. Book is directly behind me. That's the Ontario Minimum Building Code book. So this proves your contractor has some knowledge with respect to how homes are built, constructed, and repaired. Then the contractor must prove, final thing to the city, the municipality, is minimum $2 million commercial liability insurance. So again, that's the right way. The wrong way, your potential contractor, maybe the day before he was pumping gas at the gas station and making subs. Today he's in your home tearing it apart. Nothing wrong with pumping gas and making subs. However, there is something wrong if you jump from that to home rentals in the absence of a master building repair license. Again, it's very important because as contractors, we can cause an awful lot of damage to your home. A lot of things can get ripped up. A lot of things can get damaged. This program is in two parts. Always part one is the rental footage from one of my job sites. This is in a response to a viewer's email. So you send the email. We can't answer everyone, but based on what we can line up with our job sites, we then part one of the show, that pre-recorded footage, will answer the viewer's question. Second half of the show, get your home rental questions. Bob's here and he's live. I can take your calls, your emails, your tweets, and we answer them right here. You can reach us at justaskbob@cable14.com by email, tweet at justaskbob, or pick up the phone and call. 905-645-3232. Call in and win. You could win one of 4 Home Depot $50 gift cards. All you have to do is call in, hit me with your hardest rental question. Full contest details, go to cable14.com/BobContest. Now we have an email up on screen that's going to be prompting today's rental footage. Hello, Bob. What is a safe way to remove mold on old brick from previous water damage? Thank you. This is Michelle. Now, this particular rental footage doesn't exactly line up with the question here. It's not on brick, it's on block. And more importantly than removing it is stopping the cause. So that's what's important, because with mold, you can be cleaning it off, and if you haven't found out what's causing it, it's going to come back and it's going to come back. Now, we've had several questions, several emails coming in, whether it's on brick or whether it's in a basement cold room. This particular footage was taken some time ago on one of our job sites, and it lines up beautifully. Enjoy the show, and remember, second half, we're here, we're live, so get your home rental questions ready. And remember, it's the ones by phone call that qualify for you to win the $50 Home Depot gift card. See you soon. Hello, welcome to our job site. Sunny, beautiful day. Gorgeous location up on Hamilton Mountain. We want to give you a nice view of the exterior of the home in order to give you some context on what the issue is. You know, at a quick glance, doesn't look like there's anything wrong here at all. Stunning landscaping, beautiful home, beautiful location. However, there's mold lurking in the dark in the basement. That's what today's episode is going to be about. You have to look deep. You have to look deep, and you have to be thorough when it comes to mold. If you treat it quickly, and most importantly, determine what exactly the problem is, then not only can you get rid of the mold, but you can prevent it from getting back, prevent it from regrowing. This is the home's front porch and steps. Underneath this, below in the basement, there is a cold room. Now, unfortunately, there's absolutely no way to really view the foundation of the porch. You can see the hedge here, all the way around. So the hedge completely circles the two sides of the porch. That's number one problem. You know, for all of those viewers at home now, regardless of if it's just your cold room or your front porch, all sides of your home on the exterior, please try to have at least 1.5 feet to 2 feet of clear space, free from any kind of bushes, hedges, plants, or vegetation. Number one reason, you really shouldn't be watering all that vegetation directly up against your home's foundation. Second reason is you need air. You must have air travel. Now, what we're going to take on task one here is we're going to get rid of this hedge. Welcome back, Josh. How you feeling today?
Good.
What's that tool you're waving?
Sawzall saw.
Give her a good run. Again. Excellent. All right, show the viewers how you're going to make handy work of that hedge. Good job. Now, for those of you at home, there's a lot of different ways to tend this. You can do it yourself. You can get your landscaper in. Bob doesn't really care how you tend to it. Get that hedge out of there. Now, this is going to take quite a bit of work, but Josh has a way of working fast. Josh, you keep at it. Big thanks to Josh Coles who did all the hard work. A lot of work in there, but the Milwaukee Sawzall, the small version, the one handheld unit, did the job. As you can see, we have several feet now of unobstructed surface, open air breathing. This is going to protect the foundation. Let's show you some damage that occurred over time. See that crack? Sign of moisture damage. Some more cracking. Peeling paint. And for the viewers at home, if you can really focus in there, that's efflorescence. That's moisture being wicked in from the concrete blocks. It's been a long time, I'm sure, that these bushes have been here. They're gone now. The main issue is underneath in the basement, the cold room, right underneath this porch. The cold room's where the mold is. So what we're gonna tackle next, Bob's gonna use the high-powered Hilti, and we're gonna bore a hole through the foundation and install a vent. This way air can circulate. Now that the hole has been completed, this cold room can breathe. Number one offense against mold is to initiate the breathing process. We have a beautiful vent here. You want to make sure you don't put it in backwards. You want the air to flow. Perfect fit. Now we're going to caulk this in two ways. We're going to back caulk it, and then we're going to caulk the exterior. And of course, like always, Bob's using PL polyurethane. Polyurethane caulking has a lot more elasticity than a regular caulking. Now you don't want to overdo it because you can make a mess on the foundation. You want to sight line it to make sure it's straight. Josh, how's that from your perspective? Looks straight?
Looks good, Bob.
Excellent. Bob can only try his best. Now we're going to caulk the perimeter. So this is two methods of caulking, or two seals, two separate seals. One on the inside diameter and one on the outside. Now pay close attention why I just stopped there. I'll explain in a moment. Water can be a very, very difficult thing to seal out. So you have to anticipate that this seal will fail at some point in time. When that seal fails, if the seal's continuous, the only way the water can travel, the only path it can take is inward. So we leave this open as a weeper. So if the seal fails here and the water gets in behind the plastic, that's where it's gonna drip. Don't mind my Made in America mug. Cannot find anything made in Canada. But essentially, we've got water in here. You wanna dip your finger. These caulking's got poisons in it, so I wouldn't recommend using your mouth. And you want to tool it. First, you want to push to release any air pockets. Try doing this without having a wet finger, it's gonna make a mess. Now we're gonna try to do one continuous pull. Nearly got it, except for the bottom. Nice weather-tight seal with a weeping drain in the event that the seal breaks at some point. Absolutely critical that your cold room has a vent. And always make sure polyurethane by DAP. Beautiful on the outside, moldy on the inside. We have quite the infestation here. For those of you at home, I hope you can see this. Quite a problem with mold. Right now, what you're seeing is the inside basement cold room underneath the front porch. Nasty stuff here. Very, very nasty. Bob's first suspicion is lack of air movement with those bushes. However, this mold seems to be continuing here onto the baseboards. You don't want that in your basement. Welcome back, Josh. What on earth are you wearing?
Wearing a hazmat suit.
Awesome, it looks like it. All right, we're in a musty, moldy area here. Obviously, Josh is the apprentice, so I'm outside of the mold. Josh is inside of the mold. Mind you, it's fierce. I can smell it from here. All right, to give you a perspective now, you've seen the outside of the home. You've seen the beautiful landscaping, and yet you can see what that landscaping can do when it's too close to the cold room. We've got quite an area here, a sight for sore eyes. Awful lot of mold stains. It's just nasty in here. Josh, how you feeling?
Feeling good, Bob.
Now what we have here is some type of a tile ceiling. We try to get you some better perspective for the viewers at home. Let me just zoom in a bit. You can see the outlines, the squares. Now we're gonna remove this moldy piece of crap. All right, Josh, hit it in that corner that looks easy. Try to get it peeled somehow. For those of you at home, sorry for the tight quarters here, but I'm really trying to get you to visualize it, trying to bring you, the viewer, into the job site. Yeah, get your hammer into there. Bust it, Josh. Smash out the corners. See if you can break it. There you go. Use your wait. Use your hands now. Put the hammer down. Put it through the hole in the ladder. Now we don't want this down in one piece. Try to snap it. It's a small ceiling anyway. Try to snap it. Can you break off sections or pieces?
Sure.
Pull with one arm, but push against it with the other arm. There you go. That looks like thin paperboard. There you go, see? It'll be easier in here. Try to break it up into some manageable sized pieces instead of taking the whole thing down. We don't know what's under there. Plus, you'll get yourself hung up on the ladder. And watch yourself. We don't know what's going to fall out from up there.
Yep.
Josh, let's try what you were trying originally. See if you can come out a bit. Take the ladder out of there, then go back in and see if you can pull the whole thing out in one sheet.
Okay.
Maybe it's easier.
Okay.
Even Bob can be wrong. I thought depending how moldy or how weakened that was, you could snap it off into pieces.
Yep.
Put the ladder to the far left so it's out of your way.
Right here?
Far, yeah. And then go to the right and see if you can pull that ceiling down in one shot. Now careful, I don't know what's under there. Yeah, let it down. Lean it against the wall. And let's get a bird's eye view. Let me in for a sec. Oh, it's just nasty here.
That's nasty stuff, Bob.
Well, look what I'm focusing in on for the viewers.
Oh, beautiful. Very nice.
We'll let it gross out everybody watching. No wonder we're covered up and Bob's staying 15 feet away.
Look above you.
Oh, jeez. Where?
Big daddy long legs.
That's for sure. Josh, what does that look like to you? It looks like wood planks.
Yep, I would say you're about right.
But I don't really see any major issue with them.
There's too much mold on them.
See, the wood you're looking at now possibly might be the forms for when they poured the concrete slab on the porch. And what we just took off was a moldy 1/4 inch thick MDF board with sort of a fake tile pattern on it. We've got some step cracking on the foundation. For those of you at home, focus in on the block joints. You see how the joint cracks? Then you see how the crack goes to the left? Is it like a step? Then it comes down, then it steps over again. Step cracking could potentially be structural, meaning there's some movement below the earth in the footings. All right, the final step now. We've demolished the ceiling, we've cleaned up, we vacuumed up the spiders, the centipedes, the cobwebs. Now we're gonna spray everything. Josh, how you holding up in there?
Doing pretty good, Bob.
My gosh, what happened to your suit?
Doesn't quite fit.
All right, and I know it's hot and uncomfortable in there. All right, Josh, blast the room. Now this is a really good product. It's called Mold Control. However, I cannot stress this enough. Let me try to actually read this out loud the way it's written in our RRR Inc. contracts. We at RRR Inc. do not specialize in mold removal and or mold remediation. What we use is a product that's easily available, DIY friendly and safe at the local big box stores. We're happy to spray this product. However, there are no guarantees. Again, we are not mold remediation specialists. If the product works, we're happy and the homeowner saved a fortune. If it doesn't work, we strongly suggest for your safety and that of your families to have us bring in our specialists for number one, air quality testing, and then if required, professional remediation. However, that may cost 30, 40, 50 times more than what this simple product is, which a homeowner can easily pick up and spray themselves, or we're happy to spray it for the homeowner. Though again, it really matters. Contractor that you hire better not proclaim that he's a licensed mold or remediation specialist if he's not. You know, air quality testing, you could be looking at anywhere from $600 to $1,000 to get a lab in here to test the air quality. But again, if it is bad and you have young children, or you're susceptible to these things, or you just want peace of mind, honestly would recommend having air quality testing done. What we're gonna do now is blast this really well, shut the door. We have installed a vent, so that's important. Vegetation's been removed, airflow's been created, vent's been core drilled through the foundation, moldy ceiling was removed, and the spray has been added. The rest now, gotta cross our fingers and hope this works. If not, we'll need professional remediation. All right, Josh, phenomenal job. Final thumbs up for the viewers. Awesome. Welcome back to Just Ask Bob Live. Hope you enjoyed our real reno footage. Don't forget, this is the second half of the program. We're here, we're live. Send us your home rental questions. Email at askbob@cable14.com. Tweet at Just Ask Bob, or pick up the phone. I'm old school. I welcome a call. And that very call can win you one of four $50 Home Depot gift cards. 905-645-3232. We'll be right back after this break.
Are you free on Monday nights and looking for the hottest game in town? It's right here on Cable 14, Kiwanis TV Bingo, giving away a $5,000 prize board each and every week, all while supporting children and youth in Hamilton. See you Mondays at 7.
It's just another $1,000. This investment's a sure thing. You're so sweet. I'll return your bank card next time I see you. Sign the check or find someone else to look after you.
No one should ever pressure or trick you into giving money. Learn the signs of financial abuse of seniors. Visit seniors.gc.ca. A message from the Government of Canada.
The Hamilton Chamber of Commerce has been the eyes and ears for local business for over 175 years. And now, only on Cable 14, you can get all the latest news and info about what's happening in the business community here in Hamilton and beyond. Join us every week on Chamber TV as we discuss the challenges and opportunities businesses face in today's turbulent economy.
Mom and Dad used to argue about everything, especially about Dad's drinking. My family went from totally crazy to quiet, calm, and even peaceful when Mom started going to Al-Anon family groups. I wanted a better relationship with Dad, so I asked Mom if she would take me to her Al-Anon meetings or to Alateen. I'm sure glad I did. Is someone's drinking troubling you? You might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon or Alateen family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-ALANON or go to alanon.org.
Welcome back to Just Ask Bob Live. We have a fresh email here to kick it off with. Hi again, Bob. As you suggested, I'm following up on your answer from the show last week. Attached are pictures in the other direction in the cold room. Oh, beautiful. Okay. All right. These are not structurally important joists. They're like the one at the other end of the room. They just hold up the framing on the ceiling. Likely you can see that they are partially covering the doorway. This room is below the front porch of the house. It was covered outside with exposed aggregate a few years ago. The cold room is never wet, but the wood framing does appear to have some mold and it does smell musty. Based on what I've learned, my approach would be to take down the wood. Seems to me like it is a remnant of the construction and not structurally important. 2, clean the walls to eliminate all the mold. 3, ensure any cracks are filled with spray foam. 4, install 2 inches of extruded polystyrene foam on the ceiling and down the walls a few feet. Taping it all to ensure no air seepage. Ross. Thank you, Ross. I appreciate it. Sounds to me like you've hit the nail on the head. I completely agree with your points. However, point 1, though, I just want to stress where you're talking about taking down the wood framing. Again, from what I can see, but I'm quite a distance from you, it does appear that it is remnants. I just want you to make sure you confirm that, because on this show, I cannot by any means tell people to take framing down unless I've seen it personally myself or unless somebody's checked it. So please, it's very important. Maybe just double check that. Have somebody come in, take a peek at it. I don't want to just have you take it down based on my pictures. But everything you've suggested, all your points there, you've nailed it on the head. The only thing I want to mention, though, is make sure that cold room has an insulated door, because the temperature zone in there will be very different from the temperature zone in the rest of your basement. Without an insulated steel entry door, you're going to have the zones meeting with each other, and that could cause mold. That could cause issues. Best of luck with it, and thank you so much for the pictures. And feel free, even after the show, if you want to follow up or send me some pictures of the stages as you go through them, we'd be happy to air them right here on the show. We have Frank on the line. Hello, Frank.
Hello. Bob, I'm just wondering, if I found some mold and I cleaned it off, but perhaps there's a bigger problem, who can I call to do like an air quality check?
Yes, that's important. I mean, I have a firm that I use, well-respected firm. I don't have their information in my head right at the moment, though, but it's very, very important that they're accredited. See, myself, as a licensed contractor, I'm not accredited for air quality testing and mold remediation, and most general contractors are not. So that's what's important. But I appreciate it, Frank. It sounds like you want to play it by the books and do it properly, because there are unscrupulous contractors out there. They'll take your money and they'll make up some testing and they'll make up some numbers. So if you want to follow up with me at the end of the show, I put out the website. You can follow up with us there through an email or a phone call, and I'll make absolutely sure to get you the contact information of the company that I use.
Oh, great. Perfect. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, and best of luck with it, Frank.
Thanks.
We have an email now. Hi, Bob. I want to stain and varnish my staircase. I got some quotes from painters that do this type of job, and the prices I got were expensive. I want to tackle this job myself. Do you have any tips on this project, and where can I go and get the stain matched for my staircase? Or do you recommend a professional for this project? Thanks. This is Spiro from Hamilton. Thank you, Spiro, and I commend you on your aptitude to want to take this on. It can be very challenging work, but if you've got the aptitude, you want to take it on, I'll give you some tips here. Number one is my tip: you have to be clean. Believe me, I can't stress this enough, sir. When you're refinishing a staircase, or anything for that matter, that's going to have stain put on it and then a clear polyurethane to protect it, you have to be clean. If you so much as drop an eyelash into that wood, when you seal over it, it's going to show, especially if you use a high gloss. So talking about gloss now, you have choices: satin, semi-gloss, and high gloss. High gloss will give you the longest durability and protection. Satin will give you the least amount of durability and protection, but again, it has to be to your liking. So you have to choose a sheen that you like. You have to sand the wood. You have to take the stain out in sanding it. You have to sand it to the degree of removing any scratches or blemishes. Then you have to stain it. Follow the manufacturer's information on the stain can. Some recommend one application of stain. Others recommend 2, and you'll end up with a darker color. And then you have to use a couple of coats, 3 to 4 I would recommend, of a strong polyurethane. Now with the polyurethane, sir, the retailers will try to sell you a water base or an oil base. I recommend the oil base for durability. And of course, where can you go to the source to get all this information? I highly recommend Sherwin-Williams. The people that I know very well are in the Gray Road location in Stony Creek. And Sherwin-Williams also has one of the best databases via their website where they can break down the information and you can research the products. So again, patience and cleanliness. Those are the 2 key ingredients when you're refinishing staircases or any hardwood for that matter. Best of luck, sir. We have another one here. Hello, Bob. Love the show. What are some items that should not be stored in a basement cold room? I am told they can contribute to mold. This is Teresa from Hamilton. Teresa, excellent question. Now, I must throw out there, I'm not a mold specialist, but I do read a lot. I do research a lot. You're making me think now. Cardboard. Do not store cardboard in a cold room. So for example, if I think of my own cold room, we have shelves in there, stand-up towers, and we didn't choose wood. You want to avoid wood, you want to avoid paper, you want to avoid cardboard. All of these said above items can contribute to a food source. They act as a food source for the mold. So that's important. So my shelving units or towers are plastic. At some point we had, leftover, the cardboard left over from cases of pop. And we would have that on the shelving and we would store things on it. That's not good. We threw that out. So you want to avoid paper, cardboard, wood. Another thing also, just since we're on some tips there, the door. Make certain, again, I mentioned this earlier, that the door is a steel insulated door. Now, there was an email I received a few weeks ago with regards to the door. They didn't have a steel insulated door. They were on a budget. So they didn't want to buy a steel insulated door. They had a wood hollow core door. So you can pick up at the big box store the styrofoam. I would recommend an R10, a 2-inch. Get an R10 2-inch styrofoam. Use construction adhesive to glue it onto the back of the door. And you have to add very good weather stripping. You must have a seal between your climatized basement and the cold room, and the air cannot interact the air from the cold room to the basement. Best of luck with that. We have another. We have somebody on the line. Christine, a caller. Hello, Christine. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good.
So we have a cold cellar room, and there was a vent that was put in when we purchased the house because previously to us owning the house, there was no vent. So a contractor put a vent in, and then we had somebody come in, and we have holes throughout the house, like on our bricks or where pipes have been. So they insulated all around the house, and when they insulated all around the house, they put the pink insulation in that hole in the cold cellar room. Just wondering, is it okay to have the pink?
They blocked it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. No, they shouldn't do that. Could you describe again that vent for the cold cellar room?
So it's a circular, like you did.
Okay.
And then there's a white cover on the outside of it. Inside, it's just the hole.
So inside, they just stuffed it with the pink fiberglass.
Yes.
Yeah, you should unstuff that. Did you ask them why when they did that, why they did it?
To prevent the cold from coming in the house.
Okay, no. Do you have so your cold room, do you have an insulated steel door or any kind of an insulated door?
No, we don't.
Okay, so the cold room door is just a regular hollow door?
It's a wood, wood door.
It's a wood door. But it still is
Yeah.
used as a cold room. It's not used as a living part of the basement.
No, it's used as a cold room.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. If you're using it as a cold room, 100%, Christine, pull out that insulation. Now, there is a time and a point, there is reasoning to close that. In some cases, people don't want a cold room. You know, they don't want to put meats in there or whatnot, or they don't want it climatized differently. So they want to use the cold room as a finished continuation, a finished area of the basement. In that case, you get rid of the door, at least not an insulated door. You would get rid of the venting. You would insulate the walls. It would basically be a living space like the basement. But if it is staying, as I believe yours is, as a cold room, definitely pull out that pink insulation, or else you will have mold issues like the one in the rental footage you just seen earlier.
Okay. Now, what if we're just using it as a room to store stuff, but not necessarily a cold room, but we don't, do you know what I mean? Like we're using it, it doesn't necessarily need to be a cold room, but we've got a door and it's closed off as a cold room. Can we leave the pink installation in or no?
Well, you really have to decide, though. I mean, there is importance to make a firm decision on if it'll be a cold room or not. So let me tell you, if it's not going to be a cold room at all, where that pink insulation is, I would fill it in with concrete, you know, closing it off permanently. And then the door, make certain that it's a door that will have to be an interior door, so a hollow door. Then in that case, you're okay. But if you are using it a cold room, meaning that the door would be insulated, I know yours isn't, but those are the qualifications. Venting so air can circulate. That room stays cold when people, you know, use it for meats or curing meats or for different purposes. Certain fruits and vegetable or foods can be stored in the room as an energy savings as opposed to being in a fridge. So you have to determine whether you want it as a cold room or not, but the criteria stays the same. If it's not, then you don't have to worry about an insulated door, or you wouldn't have to worry about it breathing.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, no, you're very welcome. Best of luck with it, Christine. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks. Bye.
We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Come watch Hammer D20, the show that focuses on the nerdy side of Hamilton. From video games to comic books to board game cafes to Magic the Gathering to Warhammer to cosplay to whatever else there is. I try to look at all the magical things Hamilton has to offer.
It's about sharing and caring. It's about doing and belonging. It's about living life to its fullest. And it's about laughing out loud. We are L'Arche Canada, and we're about witnessing and sharing the gifts of all people. Learn more about us today.
Tune into The Frontline every Thursday at 8 p.m. and look into the role Hamilton Paramedic Service play in a community's healthcare. Hear what's happening within the Hamilton Fire Department and learn about the divisions and services provided to our community. And see behind the scenes in some of Hamilton Police's departments. You can catch it every Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on Cable 14.
Mom and Dad used to argue about everything, especially about Dad's drinking. My family went from totally crazy to quiet, calm, and even peaceful when Mom started going to Al-Anon family groups. I wanted a better relationship with Dad, so I asked Mom if she would take me to her Al-Anon meetings or to Alateen. I'm sure glad I did. Is someone's drinking troubling you? You might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon or Alateen family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-ALANON or go to alanon.org.
Welcome back to Just Ask Bob Live. We kick it off with another email. Bob, I watched your show and I heard you say that all landscaping, bushes, hedges, etc., should always be kept 1 or 2 feet away from my home's foundation. And yet my professional landscaper practically walked in my entire home Oh, walled in, sorry. Walled in my entire home with new landscaping. This cost me thousands of dollars. Why would a professional landscaper do this to my home if it is not correct? And how much damage can this cause to my home's foundation and basement? This is Cindy from Hamilton. Thank you, Cindy, very much. Excellent question. Now, who's Bob to fight with your landscaper? I'm just giving you the facts. Now, again, your landscaper, see right behind me, Ontario Building Code book. Landscapers do not have that license. So they may be great at landscaping, great at their trade, but they don't know building structure. I still stand and double down on the fact that I am correct. 1.5 to 2 feet, that could be debatable by a few inches or so. But I do not recommend flowers, bushes, walls of greenery, all that kind of stuff too tight up close to the home. Let's talk about it in depth for a moment. Let's look at your foundation. If it's an older home with blocks, it can damage the mortar joints. If it's modern construction with a poured foundation, a little better. However, you're watering that greenery. The rain's watering it. Where's the space for it to dry out? Think about it now. If you look at concrete after it's rained, the concrete stays damp for a little bit of time. Sometimes if it rains in the morning, it might take till mid-afternoon for the concrete to dry up. That's because it's porous. It absorbs the moisture. Now that's in an open area. What happens when you've got the greenery practically right up touching it? It's not going to dry out. And that water travels downward. Now fine, you've got Delta Wrap or foundation protection, hopefully. Weeping tile drainage system around the perimeter of your home. Again, hopefully one that's not clogged or collapsed. You're just adding too much stress to the system. Keep the greenery back a bit. Let air do its work. Now let's talk about the brick wall, if it's brick. Depending on the height or the size of this wall that your landscaper built or put together for you, there may be an issue with the mortar joints. Continuous watering of the greenery, or rain, Mother Nature in that case, lack of air movement. I have seen it on many, many homes where the mortar joints get damaged, and eventually you can even get water migration or mold into the home. Now, if it's vinyl siding, believe it or not, that's impermeable. So the vinyl siding, to a degree, can take it better than the brick mortar joints. If it's stucco, you can have some problems. If it's a wood siding or a wood cladding, again, you can have some problems. So I would strongly recommend, and again, also by your email, I really don't know who designed that. Did the landscaper design it, or did you, the homeowner, design it? So when you're hiring a landscaper, you may leave it up to him, or you may be a part of your design, and in this case, a part of your own problem. So please don't just take it from me. Google it, research it, empower yourself, educate yourself, and you'll agree with Bob. 1.5 to 2 feet away from the foundation and even the brick block, stucco, or siding walls of the home. Best of luck. We got another one here. Hello, Bob. I am going to be setting a fence post for a gate. What do you think of the concrete mix that you simply dump into the hole, time, labor savings, and then just add water versus using real concrete that you mix in a wheelbarrow? This is John from Ancaster. Thank you very much, John. What do I think of it? Lazy crap. And John, don't be lazy. Too much of society has become lazy. Let me give you an example. Back in the day, you'd freshly cut up the components to a salad, make a salad. Now you rip a bag open and the components are all pre-cut and made and you dump them out. That doesn't work for rentals. It really doesn't work for rentals. That stuff is marketed and sold as a con job in most cases. Regular, and it's expensive too. Regular concrete's about $3.50, $4 a bag. Buy a couple of them, mix it in a wheelbarrow, put it in, and it's real, it's concrete. You're not going to have a problem with that post. That stuff that you pour out of the bag, I've seen it, I've researched it. These things come into the marketplace, and I research them. You know, as a contractor, and that's my real day job, not this show. As a contractor, every week or two, I'm on top of new materials, new products. I research and I learn. Some of them are a scam, some of them are a money grab, others of them make sense. I research them further, I pick them up, I use them, I test them on my own jobs. So that's the very important part. You know, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That depends. You know, you have to learn. As contractors, we have to adapt. We have to learn new products, and we have to be able to bring those products to our customers' homes through the marketplace if we're going to be able to stay in business. That's the important part. We always have to be adapting and changing. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hey everybody, welcome to Setting the Hook. We're out here on Lake Ontario this morning. We got set up about an hour and a half ago. I'm with my good buddy Richard Brower here, and so far it's been a pretty good morning.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, the rods have been going off pretty steady. Already had one double header and hopefully more to come.
If you count on your network of friends for connection, your network of colleagues for collaboration, your social network for sharing, or your TV network for entertainment, it's because you also count on your network. Learn more at networksyoucancountOn.ca.
Join us on the next Business Wellness Show with guest Eric Naniakara. We're talking about the power of our mindset. Catch it on Friday at 8 p.m. It's about sharing and caring. It's about doing and belonging. It's about living life to its fullest. And it's about laughing out loud. We are L'Arche Canada, and we're about witnessing and sharing the gifts of all people. Learn more about us today.
Welcome back to Just Ask Bob Live. We have Bruce on the line. Hello, Bruce. Oh, we had Bruce on the line. Hello, Bruce.
Yes. How you doing, bud?
Good, good. How are you, sir?
Good, good. My question for you is, I'm thinking about getting my basement sprayed, like a polyurethane spray.
Spray foam.
For my downstairs, for my furnace room. But my question is the fireproofing that you have to, I guess it's a petroleum base, the polyurethane is, but there's fireproofing. There's a paint or something that you can put on. And the contractor that's going to do it, I mean, it's an arm and a leg for it, but I'm just wondering, is that something that I could do myself?
The fireproofing.
Yes.
Good question. Now, for this basement project, is there a permit involved? There's a reason I'm asking.
No.
Okay. And that's fine. I mean, it's your home, I understand. But if there is a permit required, but if there was a permit, whether the contractor does it or you do it, it has to be inspected. So now if you're doing it yourself, again, my best advice to you is, again, it's your own property. You have to be very safe. I mean, don't cheat yourself. Investigate it, research the product. There is a potential to save an awful lot of money. You're doing it yourself, and I encourage that. That's the number one founding principle of this show is DIY, and obviously that makes me happy that you're able to get up, get off the couch, and do it yourself.
Okay.
I'm not as happy you're not getting it permitted and inspected, but again, that's up to you, Bruce.
Well, it's through a company though, right? It's through a company. A company's going to do it. I mean,
Well, no, I know, but the company coming to do it, though, so this will entail, like, eventually it'll be a whole basement remodel.
No, it's just the furnace room. The other stuff has all been done.
Oh, everything else has been done, so they're only
all I'm doing is insulating the furnace room, actually.
Just the furnace room itself?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. No, I mean, if it's a company, check them out. I mean, check for references, check for licensing, check Google reviews. As long as they're above board and the licensing and everything's intact, they're the specialists. They'll know how to take care of it for you. But if you cut them out of the equation, so to speak, what you're seeing is the money savings, correct?
That is correct. I mean, like it's about $1,100 for them to put on the fireproofing, right? And is it just like, have you done that before? Have you ever?
Well, fireproofing, you're making. So is this a rental unit down there?
No.
No rental unit at all.
No.
Now, could you not achieve? May I make a suggestion? Could you not achieve the fireproofing rating through Roxel?
Yeah, I mean that seems you know what? If I could buy a can of this stuff and put it on myself and get the same benefit from it, because it has to be fireproofed, right? I'm thinking it's just easier for me to put on the fireproofing, like the paint on the fireproofing.
No, correct. I mean, you save a lot, but instead of the spray foaming, have you considered Roxel? Because we did an episode last week where I was throwing a flame at the Roxel, and I could not burn it. It would not ignite.
Right.
So I would look into that as an option.
Right.
But also doing it yourself and not having to hire out the company. Again, it's a big savings, but you have to be, you want to be safe. It's fireproofing, so you want to research all the materials, research everything carefully.
Right. So they as a company, they're going to come in and they're going to spray. But the big thing is the fireproofing. Like you're going to say, I know that.
Okay.
That I could put on, I know I could do the Roxol part of it.
Okay. Sorry, Bruce. We're running tight on time.
Okay.
Please reach out to me. I definitely want to follow through with this with you with more information. You can reach me. It's on the screen. JustAskBob.com. Get onto the site. Send me an email or call me at the office. And I guarantee you, anybody that reaches out to me, I'll get you more detailed information. Tonight, I don't know where the show went. It just flew by. Thank you, though, sir. Thank you.